Have you given up on saving money with coupons?
I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Welcome to the Matrixxx Groove Hour. It is, 104 on the East Coast, May 3rd, 2019. And I bring you good news every day because we are in such a wonderful time of life. It is Friday right now. Lots of stuff happening. Can't even report it all. We'd have to be here, 24/7. And I welcome my co-host and partner in justice, Shady Groove. Shady.
Hello, hello, Matrixxx. Hello, all you wonderful Patriots. How about that winning? I don't think that we're going to be tired of it anytime soon. It just feels right, Matrixxx. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, wow. Jackie Moore, thank you so much. I appreciate that. We both do. Ben Davis just found funds. Yay, go get them. Ben, and you guys, thank you very much. And again, none of this information is at charge. Donation is your freedom. We appreciate you exercising your freedoms, but remember, there's no information that is behind any paywall. There's no information that you cannot go find. You can go use intheMatrixxx with 3x's.com. You can use the Q posts. You can join the Q Army social network. You can get on Twitter, look at my stuff, look at Shady's stuff. There is not. You can go to Patreon. Everything is open to you guys, even on Patreon. You don't even have to donate on the Patreon. So, guys, we're here. It's Friday. What a great day, right, Shady?
What a great week.
What a great week. It's been a wild week. We had 2 days off because of real life stuff. But hey, you know, we get through our stuff, man, and you know, we fight another day.
Live to fight another day. The president's out there fighting another day. That's for sure. Wow, he's really got them pinned in a corner, Matrixx. This is hilarious.
He does. And really quick, you know, again, my sincere, amazing thank you to Patriot Flashlight. This is their last day of sponsorship, unless, you know, you guys prove to them to be, for us to be worthy.
Unless we prove to be worthy.
Right? So it's the Patriot Flashlight. Let's just go ahead and roll this, and then we're going to get right into some cool stuff, guys. Do not miss this show.
You like the Patriot flashlight? Good job. Speak.
You All right. Well, I noticed that you actually did run over it, so that was pretty brave, and it survived. And so that's really really cool.
There was a blade of grass stuck in it, though, Shady. I mean, because
it did hold one blade.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I just wiped that
thanks
right
so much
off.
to them.
I did. So yeah, thank you. And Jared, if you're listening, man, I really appreciate it. Let's do more. I mean, let's you guys, ITM20 code word is for 20% out. Or excuse me, 20% off. And, you know, there's some cool stuff coming up. You know, you got birthdays, you got graduations, you got Mother's Day. Come on, guys, Father's Day. You know, come on, get them while they're hot. And take two, they're small. So yesterday, Shady, we had a Q post yesterday, 19 minutes before our show. And basically, it was really neat. We I was telling you guys that, I took a couple days off. Thank you for patiently waiting, and asked you guys if you missed us. And we'll be on yesterday. The show will be back on for yesterday. And it's just kind of neat. Sometimes you wonder, man, is Q talking to you? Enjoy the show. I'm sure they're not, but maybe they are. I don't know. But it was just very amazing to me yesterday when I came, was trying to do the show because I've been really busy. I was going, Shady, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to do. I don't know why. Because I had, taken some time off. But boy, when I saw enjoy the show, it really pumped me up. And I hope you guys enjoyed yesterday's show. I sure did, Shady.
Yeah, for sure. And to see to see what's going on in the media, to correlate to this as it's astounding what's going on and how many people are waking up to bald-faced lies. Bald-faced lies, guys.
Well, and that's why I really want to go over this Q post. It's one post yesterday.
Yep.
And it goes, and we're going to watch this video one more time because it's important. But you're witnessing the systematic destruction of the old guard. And we're going to define what that old guard actually is and what that means. We just think, is it just the money changers? I think it's a lot more than that. I think even they use old guard techniques to divide us by
in
race.
All aspects of humanity.
Yes, that's right. Red Sonia, thank you so much. Wow. Amazing. So we're going to really go ahead and dig deep into this one Q post that really started off a lot of cool things. May 2019, kickoff, start, offense. Enjoy the show. So let's just go ahead and watch this video one more time, Shady. Here we go. We're going to click over that, and let's get that volume cranked up after we watch this commercial. Oh my gosh, they're Patriots. Oh. It'll play after this ad, guys, so I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to play this ad for you. I'll wait for 1 second. But basically, it is our guy, the Karate Kid, cruising into the Black Hat Dojo, right? And really what we're going to see here is this. It seems people are missing the point. I really like this. It seems people are really missing the point of this. Cobra Kai was teaching a normalized war methodology, like the Black Hats, right? Miyagi-Do, White Hats, played effectively and patiently and struck with honor when the time was right. Remember that competition when he busted out the move, right? The move that everybody does with the, you're standing on one leg and you're going, Hwah! Right?
The crane.
The crane, yeah. That's the part of the movie where Daniel, he goes there to the Black Bad Dojo, the Cobra Kai, to explore and thinks about joining, but he leaves once he sees that there's no honor there. And he begins ascending his payback and training as a result with the White Hat Dojo, right, Mr. Miyagi? Here we go. Let's go ahead and watch this one more time.
Does not exist in this dojo, does it? No, Sensei! Hey, does not exist in this dojo, does it? No, Sensei! Defeat does not exist in this dojo, does it? No, Sensei! Fear does not exist in this dojo, does it? No, Sensei! Pain does not exist in this dojo, does it? No, Sensei! Defeat does not exist in this dojo, does it? No, Sensei! Prepare! Ice! What do we study here? The way of this, sir! And what is that way? Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir! I can't hear you! Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir!
Strike
Mr.
first,
Lawrence.
strike hard, no mercy, sir.
Warm them up. Ice! Eight. Eight.
Fighting positions. Jab punch. Ready.
Yep, and Diane's right. He left when he saw
If
his
you're selling
bully
your
there.
home, check out UpNest.
And that's exactly right. So they're strike first, strike hard, no mercy. And that's exactly what the deep state has been doing to us for many, many, many years. Centuries. And the way that, Daniel there, he went with honor and made sure that he played effectively because maybe he was smaller than the old guard, if you will, and he patiently waited and struck with honor. Like, this was all about honor for him. It was being right and being in the right, which is what we all are in truth. And, as you know, in the end, God wins, right? And I thought that was a very interesting post right there. Shady?
I agree. I agree with you there. And to see, it has been this misunderstanding that has been thrown upon us of how to interact and who we are and what honor means and what honor meant in the ancient world among brainwashed with this idea of competition.
Guys, hang on one second. OBS Studio just disconnected, and it's reconnecting. Reconnection successful. Hang on, guys. All right, am I back, guys? Stand by. Live stream offline. Stand by. Deep state no likey.
I think you're back.
Okay, I don't see me back. Are we back? Okay, you can hear us. Okay, you can hear us. Let me just
now we're
see.
back.
I don't see the Windows capture or anything yet. Hang on. But guys, wow. Refresh, folks. I guess we're all okay. Let me just refresh, but I still see me offline. Hang on.
Sometimes it'll show that in OBS even though you're rolling.
Okay, I'm not in OBS. I'm on YouTube.
Gotcha.
It says live stream offline, and I'm refreshing.
Yeah, just pull your little tab forward there. I'm showing you up.
Okay. All right. So we're going to keep going, guys. Vega says, we hear you, but it still says live stream offline. Isn't that amazing?
How interesting.
Yeah. This is really interesting. All right. They got triggered. It's not on for me. Somebody says, we got you. Live chat 667. We got 559 watching now, I see. So this is a way for them to divide us, guys. This is, Q did. Dutch Patriot, thank you very much. I appreciate that. This is amazing.
Now it's back off.
All right, should I stop streaming and start restreaming?
Yep.
Right.
I guess.
All right, I stopped it and started it. Let's see what we get. Do. Guys, bear with us, man. Carly says offline in Phoenix. Now I'm on. Okay, looks like I'm on now. Let me just double check. Yep, we're back. And guess what Pence read?
Guess what he read?
If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land. And that was dropped by Q. That was for the National Day of Prayer. That is not the first time Pence said a Q post, by the way. He said
Nope.
Jeremiah 29:11 as well that Q dropped. You there?
I'm here.
Go ahead.
To read it, I don't have it in front of me.
Or just say something, because I'm sorry, brother. Okay, I'll keep going. I'm just trying to look for the.
Oh, you're looking for 2911 in the Q post. I'm sorry.
I was just hoping you could fill for me. I'm sorry, brother. I mean, it's all good. I'm sorry.
Yesterday was very special in the Rose Garden, really. I don't know if anyone out there saw the president and how he addressed the opioid epidemic and how he addressed Melania, and the whole moment was really big because of this. Matrixx, it's all of you, it's all of us. He means all of us together, just like he meant all of us at the NRA. Man, this is everything. Like you said, we are in the middle of this battle, and we are fighting on all fronts, as far as whether it be YouTube or whether it be all of the anti-Q people. It's everybody involved in this, and everybody is in a heightened state right now.
Yep, and I'm sorry, guys. I got a little distracted here with the stream. Shady, I apologize.
It's all good.
This is it. This is Q Post 522, Jeremiah 29:11. And when it was the Right to Try Act, guess who said exactly 29:11? Ready?
It's a verse from the book of Jeremiah that says, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. It's a verse about faith. It's a verse about hope.
Boom. So that's another time that our vice president has said a Q scripture, and that's the one right here.
Good morning. Please be seated. To members of our cabinet, leaders in faith and public life, to all our distinguished guests, it is an honor for Karen and me to be with President Trump, our First Lady, and all of you here in the Rose Garden as we mark this National Day of Prayer for the third year in a row here at the White House. The Bible tells us to be faithful in prayer, and that the effective and fervent prayers of a righteous people availeth much. And since the founding of this nation, the American people have believed in prayer. It is the thread that runs through every era of American history. In 1775, the Second Continental Congress established a day of fasting and prayer. In 1863, President Abraham Lincoln, from these very grounds, urged Americans to pray so that, in his words, the united cry of the nation would be heard on high and answered with blessing. In 1952, President Harry Truman and the Congress formally established this National Day of Prayer and set aside each year for the American people to turn to God in prayer and meditation. Ever since then, every president has issued a proclamation in honor of this great tradition, and President Donald Trump continues that tradition today. As President Trump said just 2 years ago in this Rose Garden, in his words, we are a nation of faith. And I can assure you, at a time when religious belief is often marginalized and even ridiculed, in this White House, under this president, we believe in prayer. In fact, the president has made a practice of opening every cabinet meeting in prayer. In fact, he is, at this moment in time, one of only 4 presidents in American history who've issued multiple proclamations calling the American people to prayer in a single year. We believe we always do well to go to the Lord in prayer, but it seems especially important these days. No one should ever fear for their safety in a house of worship in America or anywhere in the world. And yet, we live in a time when we have witnessed unspeakable attacks on people of faith. At a synagogue in California just a few short days ago. At mosques in New Zealand. At historically black churches in Louisiana that we'll be visiting tomorrow. As Americans, we mourn with those who mourn and grieve with those who grieve. And we condemn these attacks in the strongest possible terms. But on this National Day of Prayer, the American people and people of every faith in this country can be confident. They have a champion and a defender of faith and religious liberty in President Donald Trump. It's true. From early in this administration, President Trump has taken steps to ensure that the federal government will never, ever penalize anyone for their religious beliefs ever again. Today, the President will announce even more steps to acknowledge the vital role that people of faith and faith-based organizations play in our national life. So on behalf of our family, and as you will soon hear from the First Family, thank you for your prayers, for our president, for all those who serve in authority at every level. Thank you for your prayers for our armed forces and those who serve in law enforcement and our first responders. Thank you for our teachers and religious leaders and all who lead in business and private sector across this country. And thank you for your prayers for all of the American people. Today we pray for America. And as we pray, let's pray with confidence. This was inscribed in those ancient words millennia ago, that if his people who are called by his name will humble themselves and pray, that he'll do like he's always done through the long and storied history of this nation. He'll hear from heaven, and he'll heal this land, this one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for joining us for this National Day of Prayer. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Yeah. So God bless America. So there is your Vice President Pence. Yes, there's a lot of people going, is Pence a white hat or a black hat? The one thing I know right now, he's under submission, and he's doing what our POTUS says. It is National Space Force Day today as well, and that Pence is in charge of that. He was also in charge of some of the dealings between the border wall and all that. So if he was a black hat, which he probably more than likely was, because a lot of people were, he could be a gray hat now, and he could be a white hat, guys, because people were afraid. Q does say that not as many as you think were as corrupt as you think. So we just gotta, just until we have the facts, we've got to realize that he is our vice president, and he's saying some things that I actually agree with. So that's all I've got right now. Until he shows me otherwise, P could be Pence ultimately as well. As we know, it's Paysur as well. But, later on, it could change meanings. That's what Q posts are all about. Shady.
Yeah, for sure. And I saw that as well. Everyone is kind of curious about him for sure. I agree with what you said wholeheartedly, that he is he's doing what he's being told to do. There's no mistaking that.
Oh, wow. Tracy S. just got her Patriot flashlight. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
And I hope you got that ITM20 code too. So Jerry will be happy to hear that. But, these guys have been awesome. A lot of these people, are just so, they're reaching out to us and wanting to help us. And that is absolutely amazing. So thank you very much. Queued up. Thank you. Thank you guys very much. And I know I missed one earlier. I don't see it on there, but somebody said every time, and I forget. I'm sorry I didn't see your name, but every time we have problems with YouTube, he said, I'm going to give you money because you must be over the target. So thank you guys very much. And I want to just make sure people understand, where we go one, we go all. Do you guys understand that? Where we go one, we go all. Okay? And Donald Trump really specified this very well. This is the whole thing. I'm not going to read it, but I just want to read what he says. As we unite on this day of prayer, we renew our resolve to protect communities of faith, and ensure that all of our people can live, pray, and worship in peace, the way that they want to pray, the way that they want to worship in peace. Okay? And I think that's very amazing, and I wholeheartedly agree with our president on that.
And I agree as well. That is what America is supposed to be, the freedom to believe what you choose to believe.
That's right.
And the truth to be yours.
Right. And, just because, let's say somebody comes in, to America and wants to worship a rock. Hey, well, worship that rock, whatever you want to do. As long as you're not hurting me or anybody else, worship the darn rock. I don't care. This is what we're trying to say, is that it doesn't, and then, people want to say, oh, you're friends with the guy that worships the rock. You must be a rock worshiper too. No, I am not a rock worshiper. The guy worships a rock, and that's okay, and I'm okay with that. I believe in God. So that's all that people need to know. That's all that I need to know. And this is.
He might be a good cook.
I am a good cook.
No, the guy worshiping the rock.
No, you ever have eggs cooked on a hot rock? Ugh.
No, he doesn't cook with it.
Ew. I also want to. This is interesting to note, Shady, that tomorrow, May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
Is the anniversary of Patriots Fight.
The beginning of the board.
The beginning of this board, Patriots Fight. Q's board is 1 year old. Tomorrow, May the 4th. May the 4th be with you all.
Q's Day.
Q's Day. That's 17th. So May the 4th, I thought was interesting, and I've got all the links here, right here. So you do forthcoming, right? Is this May the 4th? Is this July 4th? What is forthcoming? I just wanted to put it on people's radar. I thought it was important. Forthcoming. So somebody says, I know confirming the Q proofs is going to be tough and will also flood the bread. And the bread is a thread over at 8chan. We need some type of guidance. What should we have ready? I know you work for the USA, but we Anons work for you. Tell us what needs to be ready. And Q says, we will inspect, review. Marine 1 proofs forthcoming. AF1 inside thereafter. More and more. Q. And then they're always watching. Watch the news regarding drugs coming out. Flu, dirt, next. What a coincidence. Q. Q responded to that. Did Hussein receive a letter in the mail with white powder? What a coincidence. Message received. Response forthcoming. And that was in regards to, I believe that was when Donald Trump Jr. got something like that as well. 750. Our attack on Big Pharma came with a warning letter today. Message received. Response forthcoming. And you know that Trump isn't taking funds from Big Pharma. Isn't that correct, Shady? I don't have the sauce here, but I think I heard something.
No, he's not taking funds from Big Pharma.
So here's your Q proof. Okay? That was on 2/12 of 18. A year ago. We knew that he wasn't going to take funds from Big Pharma. That's the warning letter. We're not taking your funds. Q45. So follow Huma. What just broke with Huma? What did HRC instruct Huma to do regarding classified markings? Why is this story just now coming out? What relevance does it have? Why is Donna running for cover? Donna Brazil. What deal granted exchange for something? Who made the deal? So we believe that Donna Brazil was going to be Supreme Court Justice if they make the deal with Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and all that. Do we care about Donna or those who instructed her to violate the law? Why is this being leaked versus simply prosecuted privately? Who is attempting to change the narrative and soften the acts that are forthcoming this weekend? So just interesting forthcoming stuff. I just thought that was kind of cool to look at. We've got our Q post site. If you want to search any word, you go right here, search for the post number, or you search for the date, or you search for words. It's that easy. You can do the Q code highlight, which means that it will show you that RR means Rod Rosenstein if you hover over it. You can do a reverse order post if your friend wants to start at number 1. There you go. Boom. You see how fast this stuff is, guys? You want Q reply deltas? Well, Q hasn't replied. Let me see. Let me go back to the regular. We're at number 1. Okay, here we go. Let me just go back to Q post. Let me go back to reverse orders. Let me put the Q post deltas on. Boom. Q has not posted in 1 day, 0 hours, 53 minutes, and 37 seconds. The next post number will be 332. Okay. Trump tweets coming, guys. So guys, this is what we're giving to you guys, and thank you guys very, very much for the support. I thought this was cool.
I love that one.
Yep. This is a little Q made out of words: brigade, drop, military, intelligence, patriot, Godspeed, war, cleanse, /JFK, clowns, POTUS, think, tech, Iran is in there. So I just thought it was a cool meme to include. Now, this is interesting, guys.
What's happening with this?
There are 94,399 sealed cases.
Good Lord. We're almost to 100,000, man.
Since October 30th, 2017.
This is unbelievable.
And that's averaging 5,244 per month. 6,000 new were entered last month. Making 94,300.
I mean, at the beginning of tracking this stuff right here in the whole country, there was less than 600.
Yeah.
currently pending, and this has escalated consistently every month.
I guess the average is about 1,500 a year
For all districts.
So we're 90 times that now.
Yeah. I know, and that's also this updated list is taking cases off that have been unsealed. We've been witnessing lots of cases coming unsealed with the Chinese spying and other different things going on with the church. Like the one case that was unsealed, there was like 300. There were 300 people with the church that were involved in that one case. So very, very interesting here. This is escalating, but Matrixxx, hey, hang on. The blue check marks out there are reporting that these are not cases, and there's nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. So if they're not cases, they're indictments. If they're not indictments, they're cases.
These are sticky notes that they're writing down and keeping track of for no reason.
Sticky notes. Okay, so they had 70 sticky notes in Florida this month, 71 in Texas, or 571 in Texas. I mean, that's crazy. Or is it? I can't read that number, but a lot in Texas. Let's see, where's Oregon? 12 in Oregon, 119 in Washington. California had over 1,000 new ones. I mean, guys, that's just wild. New sticky notes. Shady.
Corruption in media, corruption in pharmaceutical companies, corruption in government handouts, corruption in contracts, all of this swamp everywhere.
And there's our stealth bomber.
Every time something's identified, it's coming online.
There's our stealth bomber.
Bombard!
And then here's our move, dude. Time for a crane kick to the face, guys. This is what this represents. These things.
Offense.
Absolutely. Offense, man. Offense. And, look, let's go to Q's post and let's look for SEAL. SEAL. Let's go there. SEAL has none. Let me see. SEALED. Sealed. Oh, look at. Okay, so sealed indictments. Okay, so here's Q's talking about their sealed indictments. Even Mueller put some in. But they're just sticky notes? Right. So sealed to unsealed. Indictments coming. That was on 3/9/19. Sealed to unsealed. Indictments coming, guys.
Dark to light.
Dark to light. Q post 26/27. There are a lot of sealed indictments. Okay. There are a lot of sealed indictments. That was a reply.
Just saying.
Just saying, guys. So fake news, but both brothers have pending sealed indictments. Now, this is about the guys, or rumors exploding all over the place that Skippy Podesta committed suicide. Digging for real sauce on this. Fake news, but both brothers do have pending sealed indictment. Okay? 94,000, guys. Or was it 90 lot thousand?
Well, I'll tell you, what's going on with, I think today, maybe it might be the first of the week, but I was thinking it was today. They're having there's an investigation in Ukraine going on right now with their government, and they're uncovering all of this stuff that is connected to the Obama administration, connected to Joe Biden's son and to John Kerry's son-in-law. They're exposing it over there. So I'm imagining John Solomon was hinting at it last night, but I think we're getting ready to have some really big news on the front of Ukraine, and that's going to lead us back to a lot of this stuff that's going to be undeniable, because they're not going to be able to say the Ukrainian government is working for President Trump, which they will try to say. I'm pretty sure that they'll say something like that, but it's gonna happen. It's really starting to look like, and I think if you're paying attention to Judicial Watch, it's starting to happen on the on the perimeter. It's out there. It's coming in. Like, they are investigating this organically, and it's moving to the conversation on the world stage about the corruption in Ukraine and how we were moving weapons, materials, and all kinds of different things going on there. Ukraine is a big part of this spying operation, and Podesta's, they were the number one lobbying firm, Matrixxx.
Yep.
The Podesta group.
And then we've got, absolutely. And we've got the 78,000 resignations. 275 got a new job, and 19 were indicted. That's in the Matrixxx, linking to resignation.info. And I'm going to go ahead and drop that in there, because along with the indictment, Shady, the CEO resignations are also important. according to Q. Right here. So he says they cannot contain or defeat what they do not understand. Is any of this normal? Think sealed indictments counts, right? And those sealed indictment counts are 94,399. Think resignations of CEOs, and the resignations of CEOs are 7,800. That's never been done before, right? Think about that. Think resignations of senators. We're seeing senators not seeking re-election in Congress. Think terminations of senior FBI. We've seen that. Think termination of senior DOJ. Remember the fired. Watergate times 1,000. Attacks will only intensify. Logical thinking. Ask yourself a simple question. Why?
And in April of last year, the sealed indictment counts, if I'm not mistaken, was roughly in the 25 to 30,000 mark, guys. So this is a year later, and there's 60,000 more. Some of the blue check marks will scream and yell and say that, oh, you can only have a sealed indictment for so long. That's not true. Once an indictment is unsealed, you only have so long to act on that indictment, but a sealed indictment can be there for as long as the DOJ needs it to be there, or Huber or Horowitz. More than likely, those two are spearheading a lot of these indictments. But we did hear some very interesting things from Barr the other day. Some people picked up on this, Matrixx, but he did say placeholder the other day.
Wow. Man, I did not see that. Wow.
He used the word placeholder. I didn't get the clip of it, but I did catch it whenever he was talking, that he said the word placeholder. That was very interesting, because that's what he was talking about. This is the birthday of the Patriots fight. Q's board on 8chan, and this is what Q is referenced there. All the placeholders are right. the Horowitz report, the D-class, the what's going on, what Huber is investigating. I'm imagining that what we know about Matrixxx, the Huber, the Horowitz investigation, OIG, Office of Personal Responsibility, those cases that we know, those investigations that we know about, I think that there are what I would consider parallel investigations by other forces as well at the same time, to make sure that these cases get properly vetted, and you're not able to take out one person and eliminate a whole slew of investigations. And I'm just going to say this right now. This has happened a lot. Oklahoma City was to destroy evidence. World Trade Center 7 was to destroy evidence. So the idea that they aren't trying to destroy the president and the evidence being collected right now isn't real. They do know some stuff that's going on, and I think we've got some stuff going on that maybe Q hasn't even revealed about how they're making sure this investigation comes off properly.
Right. I'm just trying to find that placeholder thing too. I think I found it. Oops. There it is.
Yeah, you got the Patriots fight board up. So you guys see the placeholders right here. Acts of treason. He's showing you the placeholders. Oh, you got it.
Emotional placeholders. Is Democrats cathartic emotional placeholders? They're embarrassing themselves, throwing performative tantrum for a base they'll disappoint on impeachment. And then, yes, these are the placeholders that we were talking about, Shady.
So I think Q is going to be filling these in as things come to light.
There was a couple of posts. One post that the Q team edited, and I think they were testing the edit ability. That's why intheMatrixxx.com/Q post is trying to make sure that we understand that an edit will happen. And we're trying to figure out the best way to show you that in case that happens. So again, we're trying to become the #1 aggregator. I want to say this too. There was some hype out there saying that the Q post aggregators, some of the big Q posts are manipulating Q posts. That is absolutely not true. None of the Q post aggregators that I know, QMap.pub, they're amazing. QAnon.pub.
They're not posting fake Q posts.
They're not. And the one thing that I do want to just let you know that because I do threads and I use these aggregators all the time, and I have an amazing team behind me, Webmaster Q, who's amazing, by the way, is a product manager mindset. And I kind of told him what I wanted. He listened to what other people wanted, and he made a product that we all could use in a better way that's being used. So the only thing that I can say that I didn't care for on some of the aggregators, and I'm not going to name any names because it doesn't matter, they're still amazing, is that I don't like any words other than Q on Q's board. Does that make sense? So this is our Q post aggregator. There's no titles. This is all Q. There's not even intheMatrixxx reference. Here's the only intheMatrixxx reference. It's operated by us. That's it. Because this is Q's word. These are Q's words, not mine, not Shady's, not anybody else's. Okay, so that's what I want. I wanted to keep it crisp and clean because Q posts change. And if there's a title that's already written there 5 months ago and that title doesn't make any sense, it kind of makes you look, you know what I'm saying? It makes you look like there's a title there and, oh no, that's not what it means. And somebody can argue with you. You see what I mean? I just want to keep it pure Q, as BBQ says. Pure Q.
Q, and more
Q. This is for you. This is for you to use, and the search mechanism is the best out there. Deltas, reply deltas, Q code highlight, reverse post order. If you want this thing to go away or not go away, see how Q post stays there. I can also, if I need more, real estate to do screenshots, I can take the Q post scroll away. So you got a lot of control here, guys. This is amazing. So enjoy it and use it because it's the best one I use, and I use them every day. I've got every Q post on my timeline since last February. AMS Dave, you're my news in the Matrix #1. Thank you so much, AMS Dave. How are you guys doing out there? Are you guys happy for Friday?
It's Friday. They're popping.
Go through one more thing because how did we get so divided? And this is a meme, a brilliant anon put together. I actually think this meme is amazing, right? In the Clinton, Bush, and Obama years, the nation was very divided. And it got worse and worse. How did this happen? The division flowed from politics, which flows from the people through the media. The people became divided, but the leaders did not. They made a lot of noise in public, but the fights were not serious. They were mostly delighted with each other. I mean, look at these pictures. They're family, guys. They're family. People forgot how divided we were then, and that set up today's deeper divide. Leaders divide or they unite. It is not an accident, but we got divided, they did not. How did this happen, guys? How did this happen? And I kind of, wanted to focus a little bit on the old guard, but first, let's look at this Scavino thing. Flashback Friday. Trolling is fun. And there's
that's a great one. I forgot about that meme.
I Spy, and that was amazing. So I want to just go through this really quick, guys. What is the old guard? The definition of an old guard is the original or long-standing members of a group or a party, especially the ones who are unwilling to accept change or new ideas. Who is the old guard? And we can kind of link them back to 3 city-states that control the world. Can we? Let's take a brief look at this clip right here, guys.
A third city-state was officially created in 1982. That city-state is called the District of Columbia and is located on 10 square miles of land in the heart. The District of Columbia flies its own flag and has its own independent constitution. Although geographically separate, the city-states of London, the Vatican, and the District of Columbia are one interlocking empire called Empire of the City. The flag of Washington's District of Columbia has 3 red stars, one for each city-state in the 3-city empire. This corporate empire of 3 city-states controls the world economically through London's inner city, militarily through the District of Columbia, and spiritually through the Vatican. The Constitution for the District of Columbia operates under a tyrannical Roman law known as Lex Fori, which bears no resemblance to the U.S. Constitution. When Congress passed the Act of 1871, it created a separate corporate government for the District of Columbia. This treasonous act allowed the District of Columbia to operate as a corporation outside the original Constitution of the United States and outside of the best interests of American citizens. A sobering study of the signed treaties and charters between Britain and the United States exposes a shocking truth. The United States has always been, and still is, a British Crown colony. King James I was famous not for just changing the Bible into the King James Version, but for signing the first Charter of Virginia in 1606. That charter granted America...
I want to pause really quick and let you know that we're not British, we're French, as we did a little more deeper research into the Patriots, but go ahead.
America's British forefathers a license to settle and colonize America. The charter also guaranteed that future kings and queens of England would have sovereign authority over all the citizens and colonized land in America stolen from the Indians. After America declared its independence from Great Britain, the Treaty of 1783 was signed.
And what does that treaty says? The Paris Peace Treaty, you see? We're French, guys. Here we go.
That treaty specifically identifies the King of England as the Prince of the United States and contradicts the belief that America won the War of Independence. Although King George...
Because what happened is Queen Marie Antoinette, they came here, and the British, you know, it's all relevant, guys. And we're actually French, but we're British by stealth, if you will. It's one of those things where either side of the coin, they're both controlled by the same power. Go ahead.
George III of England gave up most of his claims over his American colonies. He kept his right to continue receiving payment for his business venture of colonizing America. If America had really won the War of Independence, they would never have agreed to pay debts and reparations to the King of England. When Congress passed the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, the U.S. President was made subservient to the King of England. The 13th Amendment is called the Title of Nobility Amendment and forbids U.S. presidents and their officials from using royal titles like king or prince or baron. For some mysterious reason, the 13th Amendment, which was ratified in 1810, no longer appears on current copies of the Constitution. America's blood-soaked War of Independence against the British bankrupted America and turned its citizens into permanent debt slaves of the king. In the War of 1812, the British torched and burned to the ground the White House and all U.S. government buildings and destroyed ratification records of the U.S. Constitution. 1 century later, a corrupt U.S. Congress committed the biggest theft in world history. They passed Paul Warburg's Federal Reserve Act in 1913, handing over America's gold and silver reserves and total control of America's economy to the Rothschild banksters. Most Americans still believe that the Fed, or Federal Reserve, is the government. It is not. The Fed is a privately owned banking system whose majority Class A shareholders are the Rothschilds, Warburgs, Kuhn and Loeb, J.P. Morgan, Rockefeller, Israel Seif, and the Lehman Brothers. This private banking cartel is the Fed and is
all agents of the Payseurs, even the Rothschilds.
Never audited and never pays taxes. They print and design America's money, which displays their symbols of an Egyptian pyramid, a Masonic all-seeing eye, and the words "In God We Trust." Who exactly is the God they trust? They also collect American taxpayers' money through the IRS. Then they loan it back again with interest to pay for roads, bridges, and other public works. American presidents are handpicked and financed by these special interest power groups. Like George W. Bush, John Forbes Kerry, whose initials are JFK, is a member of Yale University's Skull and Bones Brotherhood. The Forbes part of John Kerry's name identifies his descendancy from Captain Robert Bennett Forbes, who was a drug runner for the Rothschilds' opium drug trade with China in the 1800s. Most U.S. citizens believe that the United States is a country and that the president is the most powerful man on earth. The United States is not a country. It is a corporation, and the President is President of the Corporation of the United States. He and his elected officials work for the corporation, not for the American people. Since the United States is a corporation, who owns the Corporation of the United States? Like Canada and Australia, whose leaders are prime ministers of the Queen, and whose land is called Crown Land, the United States is just another Crown colony. Crown colonies are controlled by the empire of 3 city-states. At the center of each city-state is a towering, phallic-shaped stone monument called an obelisk that points skyward. In D.C. city-state, the obelisk, known as the Washington Monument, was dedicated to Freemason George Washington by the Freemason Grand Lodge of the District of Columbia.
So your show, and you know, if you understand the 3 stars of the Washington D.C. flag, that's what those 3 stars represent. The 3 city-states: the London, the Vatican, and the District of Columbia. And why I wanted to show this to you is we're talking about the Old Guard. So the Old Guard are 3 city-states: London, which is on the River Thames, and we saw that they had an obelisk right there. Right there's a sphinx next to it as well, and they control the money. Then you've got the District of Columbia, if you will, and it's got an obelisk, and that is where the Pentagon is. And what people don't realize is a dome, an obelisk, and a pentagon is Sirius worship as well. So there are secret symbols in all of this stuff. You guys might have seen some of that, symbolism in the Washington D.C. area, like the owls and all that stuff. But District of Columbia is the military. Because they're not part of America. They are sovereign, just like London is not part of the UK, and the Vatican City is not part of Italy, Rome, right? Italy. And so Italy. The Vatican was purchased by the Payeurs via Parisian bankers, Rothschilds, for $400 million in the 1870s. So the Vatican controls the social and basically all of the religions, right? And so when you're being attacked and they bring in religion, it's part of the Old Guard methodology. And let's go back and just kind of look at what Q is talking about with religion. All right, so people are pawns in their sick game of global domination. People are divided to prevent a rising of the people. People are divided and taught to fight themselves instead of the ruling class. Race versus race, religion versus religion, political versus political, class versus class, sex versus sex. When you are divided, you are weak. When you are weak, you have no power. When you have no power, you have no control. Stay strong, Patriots. Stay united, not divided, because you are what matters. You awake is their greatest fear. So people are craving the truth. People are craving transparency. People are craving equal justice under the law. People are craving good. People are craving right. People are craving true freedom. People are craving safety and security. People are craving fill in the blank. Proofs negate falsehoods, conspiracy attacks. Those who attack have an agenda or remained plugged into the biggest disinformation campaign ever to be witnessed, run by the Old Guard. Ask yourself, why are liberals so angry? Do they curse? Why do they slander, push fake labels, racist, sexist, ist? Why do they create emotional outbursts when challenged? Why are they violent? Why do they form mobs or packs? Why are they incapable of listening to the other side? Fascists. Matrixxx, I've stuck up for you in these groups, and they don't want to listen. They don't want to hear me. Why are they incapable of listening to the other side? Q's telling you. When you don't have the facts to support your arguments, present logical reasoning. You must resort to the above tactics. The narrative is designed to keep people in a constant state of fear, thereby forcing anger, rage, and violence. Emotionally unstable people are easier to control. They want you divided. They want you divided by class. They want you divided by race. Out of order. They want you divided by religion, divided by political affiliation, divided as human beings. Divided, you are weak. Together, you are strong. When you are strong, you think for yourself. When you are strong, you challenge what you are told to believe. When you are strong, you are awake. When you are strong, you are no longer controlled. Trust yourself, not what somebody says about somebody. Trust yourself. Trust that you're not alone. You're not alone, guys. I'm riding here, right here beside you, and you're coming with me. Where we go one, we go all. Trust that there are good people right beside you fighting for what we know to be right. God bless you all. Where we go one, we go all. Shady, I know you have some things. I kind of ruled this in because I know you have something really cool to say about this, brother.
Yeah, you did roll that in well, and I'm glad you connected it back to that Q post. And this is the focus. This is who we're talking about here when Q talks about the old guard. We are talking about all of these institutions that have worked tirelessly for centuries and centuries and centuries to split us up, to make us not be able to properly communicate, to make it seem like we were adversarial because you believe this and I think this. Whatever they could do to separate humanity, they have implemented in our history, and they have taken away our history. They've taken away the true history. They've replaced it with fake stuff that has deterred our attention, has made us less aware. You go back 100 years in America, and if you were to go in a time machine and speak to people who were 20 years old 100 years ago, you would be blown away by how much understanding that person had of the world that they really live in and how we're all connected. And now we've had this 100-year cycle of where they've attempted to take what you would see as the beautiful, creative, love, truth, spirit, and turn it into something that is physical, as to point to say there's something wrong with it, to say there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You are born in the most perfect state that you could possibly be in, and then we are systematically put under spells, and we use words to manipulate. And that has been going on for centuries, like I said. And what he's pointing to here with the Vatican and the City of London and Washington, D.C., the 10 square miles that are Washington, D.C., those are the coordinative points at which the quote-unquote New World Order were going to derive their power and destroy planet Earth and most of humanity. That was the plan, and that was what they were on it to do. And that includes the creation of the mayhem that happened with the state of Israel, the creation of what they've done to the Republic in Iran, in North Korea, in Vietnam, you name it, the World War I, World War II, the Civil War, you name it, all deep state cabal control to hide the stealing of your wealth. That's how they do it. They use war to steal your wealth. It is not difficult. It is a Ponzi scheme. It is a pyramid scheme. They've been doing it for decades, and now they achieved a point where the most thriving free nation ever has depreciated to the point where your money has less than 2 to 3% of value that it had 100 years ago.
Yeah.
That's the theft. That's what they stole from you.
This is the biggest crime against humanity ever.
Right, and that's the reason we're fighting with each other, Matrixx. That's the reason people are fighting, because I said it before. If you have enough, you don't take from others.
Right.
It's just humanity. That's who we are at the core. If someone has enough, you don't. And if I see someone's taking from someone else, I don't see someone that's taking something even as a negative thing. They're attempting to sustain whatever it is. We're twisted. We're messed up. This has done this to us. It's programmed us backwards. And this unity movement, where we go one, we go all, does it. I don't care if you like it or believe it or think Q is legit or hate me or whatever it is. We're going.
We're going. You're coming with us.
You're going with us no matter what. So you might as well buck up and hang on.
Right. And Demos 74DXS says people are waking up. CNN down 26% for April. Where we go one, we go all. They're scared. I'm happy. They are scared. They don't want Shady and I talking. So I want to just point to this real quick. Look at this Q post regarding Old Guard, the tactics that they're using. This is not just, it's the Old Guard tactics, in my opinion. Make people fight themselves versus the original target. Oh, Matrixx is having lunch with the guy that worships the rock, so he's a rock now. Make people fight themselves versus the original target, not Q, not what I'm talking about, not the truth, not the Pacers, not anything else. He's a rock now. He's a rock because he's hanging out or going to see a guy with a rock that worships a rock. Make people fight themselves versus the original targets. I am me. I will always be me, and I will be true because God wins in the end, and I have truth on my side. I am not lying like other people. Did the liberal left, old guard, engage and form organizations such as Antifa to combat and silence fascism? Any such deviation of the controlled narrative? Now, we've got people out there that are actually fighting these shills, and we found that there was an Antifa relation to some of these target accounts, right? So you are witnessing firsthand the demise of those in power, the old guard. And, you know, it's going to get worse, guys. The attacks are going to get more intense, and I want you to hang in there with you. Juanita Smith says, I have learned so much from you both. Appreciate all you are doing. The way you break things down is awesome. Much love to all Patriots. Juanita, thank you. And I have a feeling that's why they're screwing with us so much. I've been at 91.1 thousand followers on Twitter for almost 5 weeks now, guys. When Jack was fighting with Q, and I was getting 100 followers an hour. We're still at only 31,000 followers here on YouTube, and people have a hard time finding us. So if you could help me, help everybody, help you, help your family, get them over here. Let's talk to them. If people are new to Q, we welcome you guys. We welcome people that have questions because, you know, we are here. It's time to unite. This is a great meme. It's time to unite. Fight for our freedom. Together we are strong. Apart we are weak. Patriots have no skin color, guys. And as Donald Trump said yesterday, it's, you know, everybody has the right to worship whatever they want. This is our God-given right. It's as long as people are not hurting people
it's
have
what
the
we're
right
put here
to
to
live,
do.
Pray, and worship in peace. Whatever they worship.
Freedom.
Okay? Freedom. That's what this is about. All right, so I wanted to just take you through that. And you know what? It is Friday, guys. Who needs a laugh?
It is Friday.
Do you guys need a laugh?
Let's do it.
You know, I found a really cool video because I really think our president has amazing talent. And he actually did a cover song. Let me just find it.
It's a new release.
I think I lost it. Hang on. No, here it is.
Oh, you got it.
This is Donald J. Trump singing Havana
Here we
by
go.
Camila Cabello.
Little Havana. Havana, oh, nah, nah. Hey, yeah.
Thank you, real Donald Trump, our president, my president. Amazing. Thank you very much. Shady, what do you have to say about that?
I think that the president is really good with making videos.
You know, I'm going to be singing that all day. And
that's definitely going to be stuck in my head.
I didn't like that song at first, but I love it now. So
it's so much better.
It is. So also, I just want to point you guys, I think there's some secret comms here by Eric Holder. Sleeper Cells Awaken, ? And he says this: in a long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. JFK, 1961. Now is our time to defend our democracy. Welcome the challenge. Fight.
What does that mean?
We'll see you in Gitmo. That's what that means, Eric Holder. We'll see you in Gitmo.
Read between the lines with this tweet.
This is an activation of sleeper cells.
This is the act of desperation. I imagine after seeing what we saw with Kamala Harris, I went back yesterday and watched her go after. This lady is an attorney, and she is questioning this man like she doesn't understand anything about how the law works. I've never seen it. Another congressman yesterday was walking around with a bucket of chicken and holding a chicken and calling Attorney General Barr a chicken because he wasn't going. You know what they were trying to do? They were trying to set it up to where an attorney for each of the congressmen there, Matrixxx, were going to have 30 minutes apiece to question Barr. They would have had him there until tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, so look at what they're doing, and you see this tweet to me by him, it reeks of fear, brother.
NZ Kiwi Patriot, so blessed to be surrounded by love and truth. Thank you for being here, and to Matrixxx and Shady for hosting. You guys, thank you. Kiwi, brother. You're amazing, and thank you for helping out with the channel. And Vega, Poussant, Rocket Girl, Cutter. I mean, there's so many awesome Patriots here. Poussant is there as well. You guys are the blessings, and you guys here are the blessing here on YouTube and here on Periscope. I also want to thank Anonymous Information. I'm so proud of you both. Go whoever you feel you should preach. We stand with you. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, fight, fight. And Anonymous Information, thank you so much, because we're going to be spreading the word, guys. We're going to be talking about PaySours at various places, and people are trying to attack that, and we expect it. We expect it, but we expect you guys out there to understand what the old guard does to try to sway you, to divide us, to divide you. Think for yourself. Trust yourself. Okay, and listen to the show again if you don't know what I'm talking about when you find out. All right, so Q Team 6 says this. It appears the Rothschild-Bronfman clan is building out a high-end space in downtown D.C. swamp. Bronfman Rothschild, an 18,000 square foot high-end office space to fit out the 5th floor. It's due by May 16th, so very interesting stuff. Interesting that the Bronfman Rothschilds are together. You think we're talking about bloodlines? Have we told you about the bloodlines? Have we told you about the blood? They're all related, guys. All right. This is a Rocket Girl tweet. I like it because of the meme. Stand strong, Patriots. United States is with you, and that is from Q+. Amazing. I love that meme. Thank you, Rocket Girl. And this is something that I really want you to think about. We're winning a lot, right? We must remain humble. We must remember our power. And we must remain vigilant and demand accountability, okay? We can't stop demanding accountability. Our president, we elected him to do just that. So you and I, we, the people, must remember our power to fight for what's right. Okay, and there's a tweet from General Flynn saying, I'm voting for Donald Trump, and here's why, a good read, and it's all about reform and government accountability. That's one of the biggest things I'm trying to teach my child is accountability. You broke the glass, you broke the glass. Own it, right? And it's okay, you're going to break a glass, but be accountable for it. And our kids, and we're going to be making mistakes. They're going to be making mistakes, but they've got to be able to come to me, my children, and say, hey, I made a mistake. I might be mad for a minute, but I need to know the truth, and I need you to be ready for the consequences, because you will be held accountable, right? And we all will win with love, Anonymous Information says, because there's 2 ways to control people, Shady. What are those 2 ways, Shady?
Out of fear and out of love.
I choose the latter. Press 45 if you choose love over fear. And Shady, with that, we got Trinity with the phone already.
Well, I'd like to say something real quick about accountability, and I would like to tell everyone that is your power. That is what we've been taught to forget. That is what we have been led away from, is the idea that we want right there. All those 45s in the chat. Accountability is what that stands for. 45 stands for accountability, and this is the truth. And you can say whatever you want to say, but every person that hears my voice out there, you are guilty of everything you've ever done. Yeah. You're not getting away from it. We all are. Every single one of us. None of us are above it. And that is the way our government is structured. It is structured in the format of remedy. If someone was harmed, then you have the ability to acquire a remedy for you. This is not about a go-between and a middleman that sits there and collects all the fees while everybody else takes it. Okay, that's not the way the government was supposed to be organized. The government was originally organized around that word right there, accountability. And there used to be these things out there that they were called Matrixxx. I can't remember what they were called, but they were accountability fixers, and they had like this pedestal thing, and they would walk up, and there was like a rope there and a trap door.
Oh yeah, you got hung.
Yeah,
the
accountability. So I'm just saying that your power is accountability to these people who have robbed you, stolen from you, fed on you, and taken from you, from your livelihood, from your ability to live an abundant life. That is what they've stolen from us, and that is what we're going to get back, Matrixxx. And with that, I am going to say, I love this group. I love this crowd. I love you. I love this movement. I love my president. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I really
Wow, I know.
have an amazing spirit for all of this motivation and all of this stuff. And so, Matrixxx, what a great show. Thanks again for hosting, and thanks again for having me. And I would like to invite everyone over tonight at 10 p.m. for the Q Lounge Live, 10 p.m. on the East Coast tonight. Please come join me over there. Matrixxx and I will be there, and goodness knows what I might get into. So
be there,
everybody, thanks for joining us. And Matrixxx, I am ready to jump.
Yep, be there, be square. So that's the Q Lounge Live tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern. I will be there, but this is Shady's show. This is Shady's deal. It's amazing. I'm addicted to the Q Lounge Live. I've supported him since maybe I think I've missed his first 2 shows maybe, but when I saw him, I became addicted, and then he lulled me into here talking to you guys with the Pacers for the very first time ever on the internet. And I tell you, we've been unstoppable since. Happy National Space Day, America in the best space, and President Real Donald Trump is making sure that no other country can compete with our leadership. There's our president with Happy Space Day, guys. And with that, we are headed out of here. intheMatrixxx with 3x's.com. At Shady Grooove with 3 O's. On Twitter, at intheMatrixxx with 3 X's on Twitter, X's and O's. Fear or love? You guys decide. I choose the latter. Much, much love. See you tonight, Q Lounge Live, this same bat channel, 10 p.m. Eastern. And the Matrixxx Groove Hour will be back Monday at 1 p.m. Get this channel out there, guys. Help us. Help us get through this censorship. Much, much love. See you soon.